Hello and welcome to Practical Microsoft Word Tips for both PC and Mac. Today we're going to be talking about using themes, both in terms of your theme fonts as well as your theme colors, and in the case of PowerPoint, also adding in some background stuff. My name is Colleen Jolly, and I am with the 24-Hour Company, and we help folks develop their visual communications. So to first start in Word, so right now I am using a Mac. I am using the software called Parallels to run a shell version of Windows XP on my computer. So I am going to be bouncing back and forth between PC and Mac today. We are going to be talking about specifically Word 2010 on the PC side. And on the Mac side, the closest equivalent is Word 2011. Not quite sure why they're out of sync like that, but that is how the versions are done. So when you open up your Microsoft Word, you probably see something very similar to this. You've got a blank page, you've got some basic styles that are listed above that are from whatever your preset normal template is. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to paste in some fake text that I have picked up from the internet, lorem ipsum, and I'm going to show you what happens when we start playing with our themes. So themes, particularly in terms of font, are tied to our styles. So in this case, this text is coming in as a heading 1. We could change it to heading 2, heading 3, or normal. And this text right here, which is the basic body text of our document, is coming in at normal. So the important thing is that your styles and your themes work together. You can have your styles be separately formatted from your themes, and we'll cover that in another tip session. So when we've got our basic text, we're making sure it is registering as normal or one of the existing styles that come up standardly in Word, and we click on the Page Layout tab. And what you see here is we've got some built-in themes that combine both color as well as font options. Microsoft has given us quite a few options here. And as we roll over them, you see how they change the text. So this is pulling from fonts that are saved on our hard drive and are accessible. So the colors, when we are talking about color, this is going to reference anytime we're using a Microsoft Office shape. So in this case, if we were inserting different shapes or perhaps using Smart Art, I'm going to just grab one of these little Smart Art guys. These are the colors that are going to be changing when we are modifying our themes. So back to our page layout tab, we've got our overall themes, and you see how that does now change the color of our little process flow box. We can also individually change colors independently of the fonts, and Microsoft has given us several different options. Again, you can see how that changes just the color and not the font of that initial flowchart, and we can create our own new set of theme colors. So this is if perhaps we've got some specific corporate colors that we need to use or other colors. Here we can start changing them to be anything that we want. Using these up here are coming from the presets of the theme. If we click more colors, we can input any color that we want. If we know the RGB values or the HSL values, probably most of us are dealing with RGB. We can also pick any of the standard Microsoft colors, and we can change the name here, say new theme, ooh, save. And then, so that is the new theme that is coming up. Now we can also independently change the fonts. For instance, Microsoft has given us, again, several, preset fonts. That the top part, the top font, this is going to be your heading font. The bottom is going to be your normal. So we want to make sure that we have one of these pieces of text set to our heading font so that we can see what we're doing. So here, if we hit our heading style on here, then it is now changed from the rest of the text because it is referencing this heading. So this theme, the heading is Book Antigua. That is the font that we are seeing as the heading. We can, of course, create new theme fonts similar to the theme colors, choosing any old heading font that we want, any old body font that we want, and giving it a name so we know what it is. New fonts, woo, save. Now we can also change the effects. What these are going to do is going to change overall our smart art. It's subtle. If you see the subtle shifts, depends a little more on the specific smart art that you are using for how this is going to turn out well or not. So focus on your colors and your fonts. You can see this as well back on your home tab. You'll see that if you click here under fonts, your theme fonts listing your heading and your body are up here under theme. You can select any bit of text and manually change it to anything that you want. You can also, and perhaps the better way, is to create a new style that you would then apply to that specific paragraph. So to go over to the Mac side of things, similar, you've got a similar setup. You do have your tabs across the top, and on your home tab, you do have similarly this style gallery where you see the built-in styles that are saved into your normal template. And on a Mac, your themes are not on a separate tab, they are listed right here. Now, what they give you on the Mac side is, again, that holistic theme concept where you do have colors as well as your heading and your body fonts. You cannot individually identify heading your theme fonts from your theme colors the way that you can do and like we just did on the PC side. What you can do is you can modify these things on the PowerPoint side of things on the Mac, and then that will show up in your built-in styles. So as a for instance, if we open up the equivalent version of the Mac PowerPoint 2011, under your theme tab, you have themes that represent not just your heading and body text style, as well as your colors, but also your slide background options. So here we can go ahead and modify the fonts and the overall colors. Again, either looking through existing colors or creating new theme colors in a very similar way to the PC side, naming it. We can do the same thing with fonts, and we can do the same thing modifying our background. And then when we save this theme, this will then be accessible in Word. So that is the one way to make a custom theme for your Word on a Mac side. The other option is to not use your themes at all, but to just use your available styles and to create all of your styles based on whatever fonts and colors that you want. So two different options for you if you are on the Mac side of the house. Back over here on the PC side, those are our tips as far as creating your themes for today. If you are interested in more information, we are going to be posting some additional tips, both in software as well as in graphic design and visual communications theory. If you can't wait that long, you can do a couple things. You can, next page, you can follow me on Twitter for more information. You can email me questions, or you can post those comments on this video, and you can also sign up for our free e-zine. It comes out every other month. Lots of great information, not just how to interact with software, but other business development and visual communications tips as well. And until next time, good luck with your documents. Thanks.